project lead, Dr. G.C. Manna. He is former Director General NSSO and CSO and the project lead. Request you to please grace the dais. I now invite Professor Alakhen Sharma, a distinguished development economist who has made significant contributions in the areas of livelihoods, labor migration, poverty, employment, to please commence the proceedings of today's function with his welcome and introductory remarks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Institute for Human Development, CCI, Craft Council of India, and of course, also Confederation of Indian Industry, CIA, I extend my warm welcome to all of you for being here on the occasion of the launch of the report, Economics of Indian Craft, Estimating Employment and Value Added in the Handicraft and Handloom Sector this evening. सबसे पहले मैं माननीय भारत के वस्त्र मंत्री श्री गिरिराज सिंह का आभारी हूं कि उन्होंने इस रिपोर्ट को रिलीज करने के लिए आने की सहमति दी है। हम उनसे मिले थे, डॉक्टर मन्ना, मैं और प्रियंका, हम लोगों की लंबी बात भी हुई और पता चला कि वो कितने इस सेक्टर के बारे में सेंटिमेंटली जुड़े हुए हैं और कितना व्यापक उनका नॉलेज भी है। जब से इस सेक्टर को, जो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट मिनिस्ट्री है, उन्होंने टाइम दिया है। गिरिराज जी को मैं कोई 40 साल से ऊपर से जानता हूँ। मेरे राज्य बिहार से आते हैं। मैं जब पटना में था उसी समय से मैं जानता हूँ और शायद इस कारण भी उन्होंने हमारे निमंत्रण को स्वीकार किया हो। सो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद गिरिराज जी यहाँ आने के लिए। आपके रियली आभारी हैं। जब पटना में भी थी तो बहुत नामी पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविस्ट थे और अपनी बेबाकी के लिए, ईमानदारी के लिए और सच्चाई के लिए जाने जाते थे। I am also very pleased to welcome Professor Mahendra Dev, Chairman, Prime Minister Economic Advisory Council, who has again been my friend for more than 40 years. Though he's not a fellow Bihari, but I know when I was in Patna, he is of course a leading economist of this country who has made several contributions to the development economics. He was one of the founders of ISD, along with Professor S.R. Hasim, who is sitting here. And we are very privileged to have him also in the ISD Board of Governors as a member of the board. This study has been possible due to the dedication and tireless efforts of Professor Ashok Chatterjee. I think he contacted me maybe 5 years, 6 years, 7 years ago, looking for funds as such a study. And since he is, of course, considered to be Dwayne Bhism Pitama of this study, and since then I have been seeing his deep commitment, and he succeeded in getting funds for this industry, for this work. So it has been possible only because of the efforts of Professor Chatterjee. Welcome. And of course, behind his efforts, Sri Tarun Das, again a leading industry and business leader of this country, not only has been business, also he has led as president of the Institute of Economic Growth and left the office only a couple of years ago. So he not only managed funds, but also provided his strong support, crucial support to this study. So welcome, Sri Tarun Das. I also am grateful to Sri Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General of CIA, who has been able to join this function, and all the colleagues from CII. Also welcome to Dr. Hasim, who will be chairing the panel discussion. Panelist Dr. Saurabh Garg, Secretary of Statistics, who features in current issue of The Economist for his good work in the field of Indian statistics. Development Commissioners, lead discussion, Ms. Geeta Ram, Ms. Shikha Mukherjee, and other members of CCI, who have provided their strong support. Friends, this report is based on a pioneering study, if I can say, carried out by ISD in partnership with CCI, with support from Sri Tarun Das and CCI, on estimating income, earning, and employment of enterprises and workers in the handloom and handicraft sector. It is based on a rigorous methodology and a sample survey in 5 states, which my colleague Priyanka just mentioned to you: Assam, Bengal, Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, and Tamil Nadu, carried out under the leadership of Dr. Manna, well-known statistician of this country, and now we are professor at ISD, with also my colleagues Sunil Mishra, Vikas Dubey, and Subodh. CCI, of course, gave its full and strong support in carrying out this study. Dr. Manna will give some highlights of the report. I'm not venturing to it up. This study, this sector is widely known to be underestimated in official statistics. 2013 economic census provides some estimates which widely thought to be underestimated. This study finds that in these 5 states, around 61 to 65 lakh workers are engaged in the craft sector. This is, and if you guesstimate for all India figure, it will be close to 1,30,000, 1.3 crores, which is more than 6 times what the economic census estimated. By the way, I must tell you, this is only the manufacturing process. It doesn't cover sales, marketing, trade, and related activities. I'm not going, as I said, into detail. Dr. Manna will provide. An important issue from this report which emerges is, and I would like to draw the attention of the minister, low earning of workers in the sector, around 270 per day, which is less than minimum wages in agriculture. This is closely related to the future of the sector. The skills and expertise in the sector, everybody knows, are inherited from one generation to another. With this low earning, will this new generation, which will be more educated than the previous ones, will join the workforce? Obviously, need of improving earnings through innovations, new techniques, new marketing, and training. This sector is not only for provides livelihood to millions of workers in our country, but also an important heritage of India and part of the rich culture. We must do our best to preserve and strengthen it. We hope that the Honorable Minister, with the help of Honorable Minister and Professor Mahendra Dev, will get his support. They are doing their best, I should not say. And of course, with the tireless efforts of Professor Chatterjee, members of CCI, Mr. Tarun Das again, Mr. Banerjee, IHD is ready to work further. There is need of more work in this sector, and which Honorable Minister, I hope, will provide also. With these words, I extend my warm welcome to the Honorable Minister, Professor Mahendra Dev, and all of you for being here this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Sharma. It is now my privilege to invite Ms. Geeta Ram, Chairperson Emeritus of Crafts Council of India. For over 4 decades, Ms. Ram has been guiding force in preserving and strengthening India's rich craft traditions and empowering artisans across the country. Ma'am, the mic is yours.
Shri Giriraj Singh, Union Minister of Textiles, Government of India, Professor Mahendra Dev, Chairman, Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, distinguished guests. It gives me great pleasure to offer this report on the economics of a gigantic sector that has remained invisible for far too long. In partnership with the Institute of Human Development, Crafts Council of India has worked on what unfolds in these pages as a joint effort towards visibility through an independent estimate of the number of units and persons engaged in the handmade sector, assessment of its contribution to value added to the economy, and by providing a methodology that can now be used as a toolkit towards all that remains to be done to ensure that the artisans and their crafts are firmly integrated into national systems of accounting. This report briefly recounts an effort by Crafts Council and its partners, which began almost 3 decades ago, when artisans were first impacted by globalization and by new policies transforming India's economic landscape. In 2009, CCI began efforts of its own to fill huge gaps in data. It first investigated existing sources of sector information, then conducted a limited cluster study in 2 districts, Karur in Tamil Nadu and Kutch in Gujarat. The output of 2011 was the Craft Economics and Impact Study, which, though modest, revealed the complexity, diversity, and spread of the artisanal sector. CCI soon realized that collecting data on a scale necessary for statistical rigor was a mammoth and expensive undertaking well beyond the capacity of a small NGO. This is the background to the report, which you will now have in your hands as CCI turned 60. Commissioned by the Council, this research has been funded privately, reflecting years of advocacy and partnership with activists and authorities towards a better understanding of the economics of what is handmade in India. CCI's goal is to make this report widely available for discussion so that its findings can be further explored by the Government of India, state governments, researchers, and activists, as well as by industry and civil society. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It is now my privilege to invite Padma Bhushan Shri Tarun Das, one of India's most distinguished business leaders and the former Director General and Chief Mentor of CII, who has played a transformative role in shaping India's industry and economic liberalization journey. We also owe him a deep debt of gratitude, sir. Without your understanding, this project would have remained a dream.
Go away. Go.
Sorry, guys.
Don't believe anything she says. Shri Giriraj Singh, Minister of Textiles, Professor Mahendra Dev, Chairman, Economic Advisory Council to the PM, and our association goes back to other avatars of both of us. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take 5 minutes to make 5 points. This room is full of people who know about the craft sector and have worked in the craft sector. I'm a recent addition to this community, and I was pulled in by Mrs. Manjari Nirula, who's sitting there, who has worked in this sector for 43 years. And she interested me, involved me, and made me work for CCI to raise resources to support this study, because I understood how important it was. So I'm grateful to you, Manjari, for hitting me on the head. I have learned about the dedication of the Crafts Council of India community across the country, from her, from Ashok Chatterjee, and I have watched and learned about the leadership provided by Mrs. Geeta Ram for many, many years. I hope that this study of 5 states will be followed by further studies of other states. And I'm sure we can find resources to make that happen. I already attacked Professor Manna before the meeting started, and he said he is ready. So I hope this will happen. Because as Mrs. Geetaram said, data is very much required because this is a very, very complex area, but such a crucial area of our country. I want to compliment IHD because I did not know about the Institute of Human Development earlier. This was a tough, very tough task, a very challenging work to be done. And I want to congratulate Dr. Sharma, the director, Dr. Manna, and all their team for carrying out this study and adding value to our knowledge of the craft sector. Thank you very much, both of you and all your team. Today, another dimension is being added. That is the presence and participation of the Confederation of Indian Industry. The Director General, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, who has been the DG for over 18 years now and has taken CII to a position of great trust in this country, apart from everything else that they do. I hope that CII and CCI going forward from today will evolve and create a partnership which will help the craft sector in its future work and its future development. I retired from CII. I shouldn't actually be called former Director General because I retired 22 years ago, and it's the first time that I'm on a platform with him. So it's a privilege to be with you. Thank you so much. My final point, and I'll be finished, because apart from CII being a unique institution, there is a person in this room who is a unique institution, and that is Ashok Chatterjee. He has played such a unique role in this country, and especially in the craft sector. He's been president of CCI for many years. He's been mentor and advisor, and I don't know, he's like the Bible. He's like the Bible. Everything to do with the craft sector heads to him. And I have seen multiple emails, Dr. Manna, from him to you, and from you to him about the study and how he has done his due diligence on every word that you have written in this report. Isn't he an amazing man? Absolutely. He's an absolutely amazing man. So he is a role model. I call him the Doyen. He is our teacher. And I'm so glad he is here and he will speak later this evening. And he has been instrumental in leading the way, and I pay tribute to him. Thank you very much. Now you can tell the truth.
Thank you, sir. It is now my privilege to invite Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, the Director General of CII. Mr. Banerjee has contributed significantly to public policy dialogue, industry development, and international partnerships, and we are especially grateful to CII for the constant support to this study.
Thank you and good evening, Honorable Minister Shri Giriraj Singh. Great to have to be with you once again. We have had the privilege to interact with you in many occasions. Great to be with Professor Mahendra Dev, again, someone whom we have had special learnings from. And of course, we're just recovering from our annual session, and I'm so glad to see one of our major guests who spoke so eloquently on at the summit, Dr. Saurav Garg. Thank you, Dr. Garg, for always being there in many matters which relates to this report. I have not gone through the full report, but I have read the summary of it. But great to be here. And actually, I'm also quite new to this, as Mr. Das mentioned. And then Mr. Das, a few months back, introduced me to Professor Ashok Chatterjee. And that's the time when we met through a video meet. And both of us, and I remember the notes that we had from that 1.5 hours of video conference was quite a few pages, and I first got exposed to this sector. It was great to learn about this sector at that point in time, and Mr. Das then drew me to this particular study, and it's so great to be participating. As an institution, we have not really been able to be much associated with this sector, but I am sure that today we can make a good beginning. As I was mentioning, I had the opportunity to see the summary of this report over the last few days, and it was quite interesting to me as I relate how industry can work together with the CCI, and I was also so well introduced to the IHD through the booklet that was presented. But having said that, one of the things that we see ourselves doing at this point in time, which relates to the sector, is we are looking at opening about 70 odd skill centers across the country. And these skill centers are multidimensional skill centers. Most of them are, of course, focused on the manufacturing sector, if one can say. Many of them are focused on even sectors like the BFSI, but we do intend, and we are starting with at least one particular center, and then we want to move on when we want to include people from the handloom and the handicraft sector. But it will be a great learning from CCI as to how we could perhaps deepen our relationships through our skill development centers across the country and in certain parts of the country, specifically in this particular sector. And that's why I really look forward to engaging deeply. The second part of it is that we have started certain centers again across the country on micro enterprises and informal sector. And this is again where I think CCI can play a huge role in terms of letting us get their inputs and advice as to how we can, while we do get into the traditionally known or rather sectors that we are accustomed to. But this particular sector would be of great interest as we look at the informal sector and the micro enterprises. And through our various centers that we have across the country, and we are building many more. And we do believe that the largest employment, as all of us in this room know, come from the smaller and the micro enterprises. So we do think that by focusing on the competitiveness of that segment, it would really help us very strongly. After having got introduced to Professor Ashok Chatterjee, and I discussed with him some months back, we were able to form within the CII a couple of wings. One of the committees, if I can say, is on crafts, and not really on handicrafts, but again on seeing how we can expose this sector internationally. And this is again being led by some of our industry colleagues who are pretty much involved into this sector themselves as businesses. But again, bringing the two together, bringing the members of our institution and yours together, I'm sure we will be able to enrich the work for the people involved in it. Lastly, I just also wanted to say that this year, we are going to be very strongly involved, and we look forward to the engagement of the CCI into the CII through various chapters of CII across the country. And we have 80 odd offices in the country. And in some of the areas, some of the cities and towns and districts, we have opened district offices now. We have started opening district offices where some of the points that I mentioned would be deeply, we would be engaging in. Your involvement and your knowledge would be of great value to us as we go. I remember more than 25 years ago when Mrs. Geeta Ram taught me the areas of when we talked about Chenganassery, bell metals in Chenganassery, and then that's the first time that I got exposed to a little bit, if I may say, to this sector. But again, my understanding is extremely limited, and I look forward to today's engagement to be a beginning of an institutional linkage where industry can get deeply and meaningfully involved. I'm so grateful for Mr. Das for you to connect me to this to the institution and to Mr. Chatterjee, and very nice participating here this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. Dr. G.C. Manna, professor at the Institute for Human Development, former Director General, NSSO and CSO, brings decades of expertise in statistics, economic measurement, and national accounting. My privilege to invite you, sir, to present the highlights of the report.
Yeah. Thank you. Honorable Union Minister of Textiles, Sri Giriraj Singh Ji, Chairman PM's Economic Advisory Council, Professor Mahendra Deb, former DG as well as incumbent DG of CII, Professor Alak Sharma, Director, Institute for Human Development, Chairperson Emeritus, Crafts Council of India, many distinguished delegates. Kindly excuse me, I am not taking name of anyone. I mean, it will take time, but thank you. And also all other participants, including representatives from media. First of all, a good evening to all of you. It is indeed a pleasure for me to present before you some of the key findings from the survey of handloom and handicraft sector, which was sponsored by Crafts Council of India. And the field work was carried out by the Institute for Human Development. And as has been told, I was leading the study. The report, which is employment and value added in the handicraft and handloom sector. Before I go into the findings of the survey, I think it would be useful to place before you some perspectives and background. First of all, why this study was undertaken. Possibly you will all agree with me that India, having a current population of over more than 1.4 billion, has largest resource of artisanal skill. Over the years, the sector has emerged as one of the important employment providers in the country, maybe next to agriculture, according to some estimates, but we are not very sure. And more importantly, the database on this sector, handloom and handicraft, is very limited and scanty. Even two popular surveys of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. First of all, I spent my entire career almost in MOSPI, and Present Secretary Dr. Saurabh Garg is also here. The two popular surveys, as you are familiar with, one is Annual Survey of Unincorporated Sector Enterprises, which is popularly called ASUS. Another is Employment Survey, that is Periodic Labor Force Survey. These are all annual surveys. They don't contain any item of information from where one can estimate the exact size of this sector, either in terms of number of establishments or total number of workers engaged in this sector. So there is a lack of data from the official surveys. As per my knowledge, one modest attempt was made in the 6th economic census for the first time in 2013-14. Where, again, as per the instance of Crafts Council of India, one single item was introduced at the last moment in the questionnaire. What is that item? If the establishment was engaged in manufacturing activity, it was asked whether the establishment was engaged in handloom or handicraft activity? Yes, no, that's all. So that pointed question gave us some idea about the size of the sector, handloom, handicraft taken together, no separate breakup, and total number of workers in the economic census. Of course, as you know, what is the problem with the any census? There are problems. So there was some issue of underestimation. I will little bit touch upon it. So with this background, the survey was carried out. This survey basically with three objectives, as I have listed there. Number one, to provide an evidence of the size, employment, and value added of India's handmade sector. Number two, to suggest a methodology for future integration of the handmade sector into national systems of accounting. And finally, to recommend a toolkit that can be used for undertaking further research at local, state, and national levels. So this is about the background as to why this survey was undertaken. Let me just devote 1 minute maybe about this primary survey. As has been announced already, this survey was conducted in 5 states of Assam, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, and West Bengal. Now, the states were chosen primarily keeping in view 3 factors. Number one, the relative importance of the states of India, having their share being substantial in the handloom and handicraft sector. And let me tell you, as per the 6th economic census, these 5 states together accounted for 52% share of the total number of establishments during 2013 as per the 6th economic census. So this is first consideration. Second is geographical spread of the states within the country.